We are live for episode 2 of season 1 of the Neutral Zone. So welcome to the show.
Music. Oh man. Makes this seem tough.
I can only remember it. All right, welcome again. Stomps, any opening comments before we get started here?
Welcome to everyone. I was going to start by thanking you for bringing up Cobra Kai yesterday. For those of you who don't know, that's a spin-off, I guess, if you will, of the Karate Kid from the 80s. And, you know, it's the guys now, how they are today. And I watched, I think, 6 episodes yesterday. So you have the great Ralph Macchio of Italian descent. And then William Zabka, who, if I had to guess, he's of Polish descent. So we'll have to check in with Ganutek and Swiatek on that one, just to get confirmation.
So you watched 6 episodes last night?
Yeah, really good. If you're a fan of those old movies, absolutely. Great music. The Johnny character, he's a fan of 80s rock, so there's a lot of good 80s music in there.
So how did I convince you to watch that, man? Was it the clip I sent you last night?
Well, the clip certainly helped. But I've been wanting to watch it for a while, and of course I'm cheap, right? Notoriously so. And you had to buy it on YouTube Red, I believe, or Premium, whatever they call it now. So I just didn't do it, and now it's on Netflix. So there you go.
Well, we can't.
Cobra Kai.
We don't. Yeah, Cobra Kai. Available, I think, originally on YouTube Red, and now Netflix. So I'm glad you watched it. We're not going to spoil it, but I highly recommend it. I watched seasons 1 and season 2.
Wow.
I started on Labor Day, and I wrapped them up, I think, by Wednesday. I shouldn't tell too many people that because it kind of goes to show how much of a life I have. But between that and hockey, that's kept my days and nights pretty occupied.
Well, when the pandemic started, I binge watched Policewoman, which is a show from the 70s featuring Angie Dickinson. Wow, she was something else back in her day. But anyway, that's what I binged watched during the pandemic. So now I'm going to start watching, and I have started Cobra Kai. So there you go.
Well, we want to kind of hear. I'd love to hear more reviews next week. So keep us posted on how that goes. And I just sent one of our guests a text. He wants to get in on this. So, okay, great. Listen, I just got quick update. So non-hockey related, the LA Clippers fell short this afternoon to the Denver Nuggets. The Denver Nuggets are forcing a Game 7 in the Western Conference semifinal, which who would have thought they would have taken the Clippers to 7 games. So it's anybody's game now. And I don't know if you're a big basketball guy, but I've been keeping up with basketball. My Raptors fell short as well this week in Game 7 to the illustrious Boston Celtics. Still getting over that one.
Well, you can see over my shoulder, I've got the ANA championship for the women's for LPGA. It's a major championship featuring, it's an interesting duel here between, and there's Frankie. Hello, Frank.
Illustrious Boston.
You'd be interested, Nav, that this duel is between, do you know who Brooke Henderson is?
No.
You should know who Brooke Henderson is. She's one of the top athletes in Canada.
Frank, you got your phone on there?
All right, now I think I'm all set now.
All right, okay. I don't know who that is, but we definitely got to dig into that a little more.
She's an outstanding Canadian golfer, and she's dueling at the end here with Nelly Korda. And Nelly Korda, if you recognize the last name Korda, back in the 90s, Peter Korda was a great men's tennis player. He won a major. I believe he won the Australian Open. He's of Czech descent. Okay. So our Czech friends, Martin and Peter and those guys, probably rooting on Nelly Korda.
Yeah. Well, Frank, hey, I know you had some commitments this afternoon. How did the game go?
The game was pretty good. It was really just a scrimmage. I had everything timed out to be here just on time. And as I'm walking home, my neighbor stops me. And so I wave hello. And she starts talking about the educational system in America and social injustice.
Oh, boy.
And I'm like, all right, good luck with all that. I got somewhere to be. So,
we're lucky to have you. That conversation could have went to dinner time.
Oh, it could have gone on a while. I said something.
Lucky I wasn't there.
Yeah, we were just. I don't want to bore the viewers, but we were talking about Cobra Kai before you joined.
I love Cobra Kai.
Have you watched them?
I just finished it. Yeah, have you seen it?
I finished it on Wednesday, man.
I'm six episodes in.
It's not any plot details, but I think the most poetic thing was when they put Tommy in a body bag.
Oh, yeah. Put him in a body bag.
And you got it. That was the best.
I got to tell you, my favorite scene was the Speedwagon, when they were singing Speedwagon.
That was pretty good.
That was pretty cool. Anyways, okay, so we were talking about that. I started on Labor Day. I finished it by Wednesday, both seasons. Got to watch it, though. We got to get people to watch it. It's phenomenal. So we got a pretty exciting show today. We're into our second installment here of the Neutral Zone. Can you guys see the screen okay?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So today we're going to cover some current events. There's lots that have been going on. It's very good when we don't have a rain out. Last Sunday there was a Woodridge rain out, so we'll dig in a little bit into Woodridge this week. We'll talk about the Wednesday Palatine game. I'm sure both Stomps and Frankie will have some opinions on that game and the draw that it led to. And then Woodridge this morning, we were there for game one, and Frank was there for game two. I don't think the result was what you were expecting, Frank, in game two, but we'd love.
No, it's exactly what I was expecting. It's not what I wanted.
Okay.
But it went pretty much as planned.
We're gonna showcase a couple of players today as well, which I'm looking forward to. And if there is any injury updates, we'll talk through those, and then we'll update the viewers on what's coming up. Again, thanks for joining. For those of you that are on Facebook, we are live on Facebook. Please share the stream so we can reach a lot more people. We're trying to get this program circulated throughout the Chicago area. Last week was episode 1 of the Neutral Zone, and Stomps and I welcome Frank, and he talked a lot about what's happening in the Chicago area with hockey. And then also what's coming up with some of the tournaments. Obviously, he couldn't commit to anything right now as we're working our way through this wonderful pandemic. So, and then we'll close out with a production schedule. Just for the record, I had a conversation today with Eric Garrity, and he's agreed to come on as a special guest in a future episode to talk about the Sunday Woodridge and what that's all about. Okay, cool. So, what do these two handsome men have in common? They got a lot in common, but let's say top 3. Each of you guys get a guess.
Name?
Italian.
Italian, yeah. Name and Italian. There's 2 more. There's 2
GM.
more. Yeah. Formidable GMs. Formidable, not just GMs. What's the breaking news with Lou Lamoriello yesterday?
I tuned out. What is it?
I think he was GM of the year. NHL.
There's our fact checker coming through again. GM of the year. Another thing that these two, you guys want to take one more guess?
I'm all used up.
They're both big and closely connected to the New York Islanders.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So Lamoriello's the GM of the New York Islanders, and Lou Mangini is a big Islanders fan. Although I gotta say, Frankie, doesn't Lou look a little different here? He's really gotten himself into some great shape.
Oh yeah, he's the last couple of years he really has. I mean, he's made that commitment to excellence.
Yeah.
I don't know about his haircut though. His latest haircut.
What did he do to it?
Well,
I don't know. He like shaved the sides, and he's got. I don't know what he's doing. I didn't say anything to him.
It's got
I'd
like
rather say it
mohawk.
on the air.
It's like a mohawk. It's like the guy Hawk from Cobra Kai.
yeah, I like it. He's
Wow,
badass.
he's tying it all together.
He's just gonna tie it. He's gonna dye it pink. Be all set.
Is that Switek behind Lou in that picture there?
He's got the same hairstyle.
I don't know.
They like to fish.
Lou's done a great job on those Palatine scrimmages, I must tell you. But the reason I put this one up is because I think it's a segue. It's a great segue into what happened on Wednesday. So both of you guys had, the privilege of attending that game. I have to tell you that I did put the Raptors in here only because throughout that game I was distracted for the first, I think, 3 periods watching Game 6 of the Raptors in an elimination game come back in second overtime to beat the Celtics, only to lose on Friday night in Game 7. So listen, that's our only real good Toronto team. So you got to understand why we embrace them. But that was sad. Anything notable on that game, Stomps, that you noticed?
Well, I don't want Lou to get too big of a head here, but I named him the Molson star of the game for his job and goal. I thought he was really good, actually. Other than that, for me, I crossed center ice 3 times in that whole night in 90 minutes. Because we had, those guys had formidable offense and coming in waves at us. So don't want to get caught. So it was just playing defense the entire night. But it was, it was an even game for sure, right? Ended in a tie.
I got to tell you, I don't know, Frank, I'd love to hear I thought when you look at the roster side by side, if you remember the players, I thought the side that Frank was on, I thought that they had the edge.
I got to admit, it was more than one day ago, so I don't remember who was up there. Well, obviously, any team that has me on it has the edge, right?
Wow, there it is.
Right there.
There's terrific himself.
No, I was. I don't know. I thought the teams were pretty good. I was out there playing defense with Donts, which I always enjoy, and yeah, it was a good night. Good night. I know there was a little goaltender controversy when we had 3 goalies. They were rotating, and one guy left early.
Schimmel?
Yeah, Dave left a little bit early and kind of threw off the whole rhythm. And that's why it was big feather in Lou's cap for sticking in there, sticking it out. He played an extra period and just stood on his head in that last, the end of the game there.
Dave said he had, I think he said he had to wake up like at 5 a.m. or 4 a.m. or something ridiculous the next day. So he just wanted to get out of there and get home. But
Well,
that should be noted, though, because a couple times he's come, he's bailed early, so he needs to stick around and chat with the guys afterwards.
I think we need to fact check that 4 a.m. wake up. I mean, is there any way we can figure if that's true or not? I'd love to know that. Who gets up at 4 a.m.? Frank, what time do you get up, Frank?
If I'm up before 7, that's just way too early. That rooster crows. I just smack him. I go back to sleep.
We're gonna get Frank this thing called ginkgo biloba. Have you heard of that, Stomps?
No.
It's for memory. We got to get Frank's memory. You need Frank to recall things from more than a day ago.
Oh yeah, no, it's that medium term memory. I can remember anything more than 5 years ago. I remember because then I just make something up, and then anything that's happened in the last 24 hours. For example, the Bears today. I'll remember that one all week.
Yeah. That's why you got to just write things down. I mean, just keep
Did they
writing.
lose?
Are you kidding me? They're going to the Super Bowl, my friend. Stomps, you didn't watch the game.
I did not watch the game.
Oh, they were trailing late, but Mitch put the team on his back. Had 3 touchdowns late to win the game.
Wow. Well, the much maligned Mitch, I feel good for him. That's
Great
He was
news.
terrible up until that point.
what was that?
He was terrible up until last drive of the third quarter, but he got it going.
Hey Frank, are you a July birthday?
I am April.
You know what I want to do for Frank's birthday? I want to get him ancestry DNA.
Hey, there's a special I think they're running for like $59.
So Stomps and I have been
A lot of
trading.
questionable figures back in my background. Cosa Nostra.
Frank, so Stomps and I were exchanging some of our ancestry, over the last few days. And in order to kind of get on the show, I think you're going to have to do the spit test. And we did have a discussion. Frank, we are curious if you have any Italian-American in you or Italian descent.
Oh yeah, I'm 3/4 Italian American. And Klein is German, Hungarian name. No one's really sure. The Kleins came back, moved over here like in the 1800s. So we're not exactly sure where they came from, but my mom's family was mostly Sicilian, so that's where I get my hot-blooded temper.
Wow.
And my dad was half German, half Italian.
Any relationship to Calvin?
I wish, but no, not as far as I know.
All right. So listen, one notable from that game, I have to tell you guys, I feel like Adesh's game is really taken to the next level. I mean, he's playing really well these days.
Yeah, I agree. He's always got a real lively shot. He gets a lot of heat on it, and I don't know if it's like a modern day spin rate like they talk in baseball, but it has a lot of late movement.
Yeah.
And so he's got a good shot. And
I think he should shoot more personally.
Yeah, his stick handling has gotten way better. He's really been working on that.
Yeah, we had youth on our side. Nav's kids, of course, Suleiman and Adam. Although Adam was tied up with the basketball game himself, and he needs more reps. So we'll have to talk to Nav about sanctioning him potentially this week.
For sure.
It'll be nice to see, once we get these games back on, because there's, what you do in a scrimmage or a fun game, as opposed to once the competition gets amped up and guys take it a little more serious. So, I was just talking the other night about how good Adesh is, and I'd love to see him against, some real games, see how that translates.
I agree.
Nav, did you mention Adesh in particular because of his Indian descent?
I didn't really think about the Indian descent. I'm more intrigued about the fact that I think he's born in Toronto, and him and his dad are big Leaf fans.
I know.
So that's a cool thing. It's good to find some Leaf fans in the Chicago area. I still tell you that I still think that Alex. We talked about Alex last week, Marcinowski. That guy is something else. I mean, he had a great game as well. So with that said, I think the Friday there's a slot in the Palatine. There's a Palatine slot on Friday. Have any of you guys been out to that?
Yeah, I was out there last Friday, and that was a really good game. I mean, there were real top level players on both sides. It was a good game. And I don't know what the score says, but I believe once again my team came out on top.
Well, we're not.
We'll fact check that one too.
Well, yeah, we'll fact check that for sure.
But you had Alex was out there, Nevin, Eddie Urban was out there, Chris Bauer and Shane Miles. Desh was out there. So yeah, there were some good players out there.
Yeah, I heard that it was a good. I think who was it that was telling us that they were out there? It was Joe Gleason was out there, right?
Joe was out there, and his young guy Brendan had a couple goals.
Right.
A sniper. It was awesome.
That's good
I
news.
asked him if he gave him the
Talking
ball.
about it. Joe got no sleep last night because he was up all night. Hey, Dad, did you see my top shelf goal?
That's amazing. That's amazing. So let's get into the next segment, part of the segment here. So Woodridge, you can see that's a very dated picture. That was one of the, I think it might have been one of the turkey trot games or the Turkey Fest games that Eric does. We got some new players coming out to Woodridge. We got some returning players today. We're going to have, like I said earlier, we're going to have Eric on the show in a couple of weeks. He's agreed to come out here and talk to us. This morning was a good game, though. I got to say, you were talking, Frank, about how you were on the winning side and you're always on the winning side. I have to tell you, my very unbiased, nonpartisan opinion is that I think the 8 o'clock slot is where the real talent is. I think you guys at 9:30 are still working to get into that 8 o'clock slot.
Yeah. We're hoping. We were the B League. We're hoping to get the call up. It's like the soccer relegation system. If we do well enough in the 9:30, maybe we can move up to the 8 o'clock.
Absolutely. So we got a little song here for you. We're not getting you Uber Eats. All right. So for those of you who don't know, that's Mark Morrison, Return of the Mac. That is.
You need to clear this music with me first before you.
It's not Kiss. It doesn't play, right?
Exactly.
Eileen, Return of the Mac. So Eileen hasn't played hockey in 6 months. Stomps, tell us a little bit about what she did on her first shift.
She's got the opening goal unassisted. So she got us going. I got to be quite honest with you. I was skeptical of this game. I was worried. I felt like, I don't know. I wasn't too confident, but we took it to them. It was 5-0 at the end of the first period. But we played really good defense. And what was the final? 9-3 or something like that. So
I don't even know if they got 3. It might have been
2 or 3 they scored. I mean, that's pretty good for that Woodridge. But it was a little bit treacherous out there in the 8 o'clock game because it was still a little bit wet, especially the areas of the rink that didn't get sun. And, I mean, I was just standing there and I almost went down. That's why I wore a helmet because I mean, a few people went down sliding. I think it got better as the day went on, but yeah, it was a good game. Ganutek and Timmy lit it up and against a really good goaltender. But our goaltender, John, was really good today, and that was the difference.
Timmy was on, I don't know if you guys know this, but Timmy was on an 11-game losing streak until this morning.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow.
And he was line mates with Eileen. That turned out
great today then. So good for him.
He win? He was on the winning side of the second game too, right?
He was, yeah.
Yeah, he was they were starting to call him the Black Cat. We had some other notables today. I thought he played well. Timmy and Eileen were line mates. And who was that second line? Who was Ganutek with? Patty?
Yes.
There we go. Hey, Frankie, you know what that symbol is under Patty's picture there?
Continuous improvement?
Kaizen.
I don't know what that is.
The Japanese Six Sigma, Kaizen, continuous improvement. I didn't want to call him a work in progress. I felt like that would be too negative.
Well, he's feeling the pressure now from his younger brother, so he's got to pick up his game.
Right.
But actually, watching him at Palatine in the last couple of weeks, he's improving. A little more confidence out there and kind of doing the right things, playing a little faster.
Right.
I would agree. I would agree. Papa Joe's probably very proud. How about this guy? You know anybody else as strong in the corners?
Strong in the corners, in front of the net, behind the net, anywhere. He's like Sasquatch. Look at this guy.
Big and strong.
So go ahead, Nav. Explain the 7-Eleven. You got all of these
That's
obscure
Ganutek.
references that everybody's looking at going,
Ganutek's been 7-Eleven for 20 years because he's always open.
always open, yeah.
So I never thought of 7-Eleven as being open for Peter. I was taking more of the analogy about the fact that he was just great in the corners, like a corner store.
Wow.
How about these two guys? How about these two guys in the intermission there? Ganutek and Trapani. Another Italian American there. Stoms for you.
We need a new
Sounds like a shitty law
photographer.
firm.
Terrible picture.
Hey, yeah. Where's Frank? Have you heard from Sabatini at all? He's been a no-show. Is he just running marathons every Sunday or what?
Yeah, I don't know. He's the fat runner. I don't know where he's been.
Isn't he the official Team Chicago photographer?
He is. Yeah, he does a great job with that. He's a busy guy. He plays baseball. He runs. You know, so who knows what he's doing? He's a busy guy. He'll be back.
Dave, we should be reaching out to him. He's one of Dynamo's executive directors.
Well, he's kind of on an internship. I think giving him an executive director is a little bit of a stretch. He's doing an internship. He's, Frank. Frank knows that everybody's on the trading block. Huh? How many conversations have Frank and I had about trades?
A lot. Before the first game. Yeah, I got a trade for you. I got an idea.
We could trade in the intermission if we wanted to. So yeah, I thought just a notable mention about Trapani. I don't know, Frank. He usually plays in the 8 a.m. game. He's one of the double rostered guys. He's a wily veteran. That guy. I mean, he knows how to play hockey, man. He's probably a very good player.
He played with my team in the second game there.
Yeah, and I think he's up there as well. So I don't know. We could have some questions on this next slide here. I tried my best to, get it through some of the content in the ethics committee, but I couldn't get to them on time. But I really wanted to ask you guys, you see this car over here? You see where it's parked? I mean, to me, that looks like it's in the handicap spot. And I don't know if that's fake news or not, but
that stops the car?
No.
Oh, well, I think that fits.
Now,
It's the Ganutek show once again.
Exactly. He's wearing the blue headband a la Mike Reno of Loverboy.
He looks a little like Johnny Lawrence. Reap the leg, kid.
He doesn't have.
I don't know about that pose, but there you go.
Frank, you know where that picture was taken, right, Frankie?
Yeah, that was in Norwood, right?
Yeah, that was in Norwood Park. Yeah, he's quite a player. I mean, we covered him last week, so we won't spend too much time. He doesn't have Facebook. He's not really into the social media. He's kind of like the Kawhi Leonard of the Chicago.
Johnny Lawrence. He's old school, man.
I think there's three guys, right? Would you agree? Like, Frankie, you know the sort of inventory of the guys that are not social media, but there's Ganutek, there's Bobby Bauer, and there's Joe Coletta. Three guys that I think they all have flip phones. I mean, that's what I would guess.
Joey Coletta's got a rotary phone. That's how old school he is. You have to send him a homing pigeon. He's not up on this newfangled technology.
I'm just going to take a quick look here on the Facebook live chat. We had a guy in here by the name of Sam Espinoza.
Yeah, where's he been lately?
Yeah, he just basically made a comment saying that he's going to make his comeback eventually.
Nobody knew he left. Love you, Sammy.
Okay. I got Solomon watching too. Okay. Good. Hey, so for those of you at home on your comfortable couch, we have uploaded last week's episode onto YouTube. I'm going to be sending that to Frank via Google Drive so he can take snippets of that. I think he could use some of that footage. I got some footage from Game 2 in Woodridge today. I'll be sending that over in a bit. So, spotlight time. All right. So, I picked two guys today for us to sort of talk about. We want to make sure we keep it fresh. You guys can have a lot to say about this guy for sure. So let's talk a little bit about Shane Yulee. Is that how you pronounce it, Frank?
Oh, I pronounce it, yeah.
Yeah.
Shane, he's been playing for a while now. He's when he, I think of some of the better players that have ever played in our area, and he's right up there. When he was at the top of his game, there were a few better. Strong on the puck or the ball, just flies around, stick handles, pass, shoot, he does everything well. So obviously he played with the Raiders, but when I saw he was coming up, my signature Shane story goes back to the Tampa tournament we did in 2014, and we had a team. It wasn't a great team. I mean, by all accounts, it was a D team that should have been in last place in a D tournament, but it was a bunch of good guys, and we just played real well together all tournament long. And we get to the championship game, and it's a close one, and Shano gets the ball behind our own net, takes a whack from the other player. Well, he makes a move coast to coast. He goes through every player on the other team at least once, fights off a couple dirty plays, roofs it, and that basically sealed the championship for us. So, he's the kind of guy that when he wants to take over a game, he could do it.
Yeah.
And against good competition too. I mean, some guys play well against the weaker players, but I've seen him in top flight competition, stand out. He's a great player.
You've played with him on a couple of seasons as well, right, Stumps, with the Raiders?
For a while, yeah. I mean, we won championships with Shane. I mean, it's funny what Frank mentions. I was just going to say, Shane is probably one of the very few guys who could legit at Palatine go end to end from behind his own net all the way down. Most people would run out of gas about halfway through, but he could do it. Yeah, I mean, I just echo what Frank says. Great player, great teammate. Not the greatest scoreboard worker at the tournaments. That I may.
Hey, from my point of view, it was awesome. I didn't pay him. I guess I paid him in beer, but yeah, I mean, he stepped up, and that's the other part about him. He is like, everyone loves being around Shane. He's he is a party. He's a great guy, like genuine, just has the time for everybody. Anytime I've asked him for help, he's always chipped in for the tournaments. He's just a lot of fun to be around. Great leader in that regard too. He
left the Raiders for a little stint to go to Europe. Remember that, Frank? We didn't talk about that.
Yeah, he left a couple of times. Actually, he went. So he had just started playing with us. He played maybe a year, and then he went to college in Texas. So we soldiered on without him. He came back, and he was phenomenal because he was in great shape. And then he went to play baseball in Europe. So he was gone for another year there.
Yeah, he won a championship with the pro team in Switzerland.
Yeah, he's a multi-sport athlete.
Wow. Bo Jackson?
There you go. He kind of looked like Clayton Kershaw when he's got a normal hairstyle. Not this picture, but he's Kershaw.
Yeah, we may need to fact check. We may need to fact check Sam Espinoza. He just put a comment on there that he's injured. He's got a kidney ailment. I mean, that if it's true, that's very
Wait, Sammy does?
Yeah, he just put that on the public here, so we'll have to check in on that one.
Best wishes for Sam's recovery.
What was that, Frank?
I said heal up quick.
Yeah, absolutely. I like Shane's game. To be honest with you, Frank, there was a time in Palatine when I would say the difference between him and the next best player was pretty significant. Yeah, I mean, two-way game, hard shot. He's a lefty, right?
Yes, yeah.
I mean, he can play forward, defense. What a shot from the point. I mean, unbelievable talent and speed. And endurance, just a total package, man. What's he doing these days? He came out, right, a couple of weeks ago to one of your scrimmages?
Yeah, he was actually out there Friday night. Looked good. He made a couple goal-to-goal plays. He likes to do that high wire act where he's coming out of his own end. He's got a two-man forecheck trying to get the ball away from him, and he just fights through it, and then all of a sudden, boom, he's got a breakaway.
Hey, Stomps, is that the hairstyle of Shane that Lou's trying to get, or is Lou's a little shorter on the sides?
No, I don't know. That picture of Shane reminds me of, what was it, Ed Grimley? Was that
I must say, the Wheel of Fortune guy?
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, so
we love Shaner.
Yeah, we love him. Great guy. Can't wait to continue to play with him. So the next spotlight, we're going to go with a guy that not too many people know about. I think of all of us, I think Frank probably's played with him the most in Woodridge. I played with him a couple of times, this morning being one of them.
Hey, welcome to the gun show. What's going on here?
You're right.
Yeah, he's definitely.
Pythons.
He seems to spend a lot of time in the gym. I don't know if this is pre-COVID or not, but definitely got the guns. I don't know what background that is. We'll have to ask him because I think he's tuned in. But this is Sam Ansari. I think he's based out of Barrington, and he's played. He played on the Killer. Did he ever? I think he played on the Killer Bees. Actually, that's why I asked you, Frank. He plays in that Aurora League for sure. I know that, or he did play in that.
So I did play with him. I was just a sub on the Carroll Stream team on Tuesday nights.
Right.
Yeah, he's been out on Woodridge for a while. Plays a little bit in Palatine. I think he's been out there a couple times, maybe on Wednesdays or Fridays. He's been coming out a little bit here and there. But he's more in our age group, so we're trying to see if he wants to play some tournaments with the Masters team.
Right.
But yeah, he's a good hard shot. I mean, he can.
That was the one thing I could say about him is he could fire it. I think he scored one today on a rocket. So like a dash, he's got a good hard heavy shot. Otherwise, I don't know him. I don't know Sam. So
I mean, this is what we're trying to do: showcase a couple of guys that sort of unsuspecting guys in the league. Who I like the fact that Frank, possibly has already started thinking about that Masters team. I did see that shot he took today. I will tell you another thing about him. He's a Montreal native, born in Montreal, big Habs fan. So we can actually not really like him that much, but I mean, I don't like the Habs. There's no secret there. But hey, we'll see. We'll have some more guys coming in on the show spotlight. So next week we got dual guests here. We got two guys. We may have to break it down. We got a guy that none of you guys are. No secret to any of you guys. Dante. He's led a lot of teams like Toros, Dante's Inferno. What was that team that he played with many years ago?
Lugags.
He was a Lugag.
Oh, what's a Lugag?
I don't know.
Arnie Lugag. He was a fictional character that was created back in the early 70s by, I think Jay Taglio was involved in it and some other guys at Weber High School. And they had a Lugag bowling team. I mean, all these different sports. They went into hockey, and then it just kept it.
All I know is I hated the Lugags.
What was that?
Oh, I said all I know is I hated the Lugags. Bunch of dirty players, if you ask me. Except for Rocco. I like Rocco.
Well,
Yeah.
Dante is also known as the classy one. I mean, he's ran a lot of teams. The reason we have him and Eric is because we're trying to understand from their perspective. I know, Frank, how you're always trying to get younger people involved. It'd be good to start once these leagues start going, get some younger people involved. There goes Frank. He's already bored. We get some younger people involved, so maybe they can start, creating teams and running teams. And Eric's done a good job of creating sort of a league on Sunday. The week after that will be a good segue where we'll talk about the future leaders of the sport. Maybe what we'll do is we'll try to bring on Patty and Gabe and maybe Solomon. We can't definitely do that early in the day because these guys are sleeping. And then what we'll do is we got to talk a little bit about defense, spotlight on defense. And then between the pipes, who would you guys like to see here if we talk to some goalies? Who would you like to see on the show?
Well, you can bring in Billy. He's a lot of fun, but you do have to plan some rest time. He can only talk for about 5 minutes, then he's got to sit down, collect himself, complain about his aches and pains, and then he'll get back at it. He'll be okay.
We'll get him. We'll just make sure he stays hydrated, and we'll make sure he's got the air conditioning cranked up in his house, right?
I mean, I'd like to see Schimmel. I'd like to see Bobby D. I'd like to see, anybody who actually plays goal, because they, it's just an interest. Most goalies are interesting cats, and we got a number of them at Woodridge. You can count Lou. Lou plays a lot of goal now. We can get a bunch of them. You could get a lot of Zoom faces. And then you got to make sure people aren't talking over each other. But be good to get a bunch of the goalies out.
Yeah, we can kind of do like a little panel discussion.
So Nav, I know it's not on your itinerary here, but I don't know if you know, but this is the 5-year anniversary of the liver flukes this weekend. Were you aware of that?
It showed up in my memories on Facebook.
5 years ago this weekend.
Is that how you remember?
Yeah, someone else I saw on Facebook.
I was going to ask you, it's not because you still have some stubborn ailing symptoms, right?
Oh, I do. I have stubborn ailing systems. Yeah, that was, you guys don't know what we're talking about, but that was, so 5 years ago was the Masters national team tryout. And the way they did it was anyone who wanted to play had to bring a team to play on. So we brought our Chicago team, and, we had a lot of guys who were pushing 60, forget about 40 and over. And, but we had a lot of fun with it. And, but the one night we went out to Chickies and Pete's, and so we had the crab fries, and I don't know if you remember Dan Bruner had that crab soup.
Yeah.
Remember him munching on those crab legs for about an hour and a half. It was the most disgusting thing. It was all stuck like in his chest hair. And I mean, it was everywhere. It was disgusting. But we were all feeling it the next day. I mean, our bellies were aching and worse.
You guys didn't come back with a case of the crabs, did you?
We came back with something. It was a lot of intestinal problems. I keep.
Definitely was sick
Wow.
for some time.
So they had to have been in Philadelphia, right?
It was, yeah. So we get down there, and someone told us, "Hey, you got to go to this is whatever place it was. I forget the name of it. Where you got to go get the real cheesesteaks."
Geno's or Pat's or Geno's?
No, there's the two famous ones that are across the street from each other. No,
Right.
Somewhere else.
Oh, okay.
We go in there. It's about 1:30 in the afternoon, so it's after the lunch rush. There's nobody in there. But obviously during the lunch rush, there were a million people because they've got this giant 55-gallon drum garbage can that's overfilling with garbage. There's garbage spilling over that thing onto the floor and everywhere. And then I get my sandwich, and it was like stale bread. It was I still ate every bit of it, but that was the start to the weekend.
Wow. Well, no wonder you had those ailments.
What's
It's
worse?
Philly, too. Filthy.
What's worse, Frank? The liver flukes or the knee injury?
Oh, that's a tough one. I can play through liver flukes. That's more of an acute condition too. It's not as chronic.
Any other comments? Like I love the liver fluke story. Any other comments from either of you guys? Anything happened in the past week? Anything you want to share with the viewers out there? Any developments, Frank, in the hockey world? You want to talk about the Las Vegas Golden Knights, how the playoffs are going? I know, Stomps, you have some strong opinions about the sports world these days.
What are you asking me to get into that?
Well, no. I mean, we're running out of time here, but
no comment.
How about next week?
I
But it
was,
looks like looks like Dallas is going to go, right? I mean, they're on the brink of eliminating Vegas,
3-1.
and Vegas can't score. For whatever reason, that happens, and it's at the wrong time, right?
As a Blackhawks fan, how do you guys feel about that? When you lose to a team, do you want them to go to the finals, or are you hating them so much you want them eliminated in the next
I
round?
still haven't ruled the Blackhawks out for this year. I think they've got an outside chance. I'm checking in the rule book right now. I don't care. Once my team loses, I don't care. Like the team that beats them wins or loses, it doesn't matter to me.
How about the Chicago Wolves? They're now affiliated with the Carolina Hurricanes for 3 years.
Oh wow, that is big news. I didn't know that. When did that announcement come out?
This past week.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we got some trivia coming soon, but since I had two of you guys on, and we have obviously the fact checker. Now we're not a league that discriminates in any shape, fashion, or form, but I do have a question for you guys. Who is the oldest player in our league right now?
I'm going to go Steve Givens at 62.
Probably Steve, yeah. I would think so.
Who's second? Who's up there? I don't think we have anybody else in their 60s for sure.
I think Dante will be turning 58. I'll be turning 57 soon.
Are you guys older than Bobby Bauer?
I don't know how old Bobby is.
I'm pretty sure Labitz is 60, but he doesn't play regularly anymore.
He's 60?
I think so.
Wow.
I thought recently he turned. I might be wrong. I don't want to age him too much, but
How about Bob Silver?
I don't know.
He's up there too.
And getting it done, I mean, obviously like Stomps and the rest of you guys. I mean, Mark, there's still good players too.
It's inspiring. What about the youngest guy in the league?
Kenny.
And he is?
He's young. He's 18, 19. Gabe, about that same age.
Oh, well, yeah, okay. I guess when you talk about the league, but I mean, what's going on right now? I mean, Brendan, how old is he? Gleason's son.
Brendan's 15.
15, yeah.
How old is Adam?
He's 15 too.
There you
Adam's
go.
15. Brendan's 15. But you know who's 14? Is Gabe's younger brother.
Yeah, he's a good player.
He's only 14. He's the youngest I've seen. I don't know if we should be publicizing this, though, just because we might be breaking some rules here.
Well, but those guys don't play in the league, so
Yeah.
they're not causing any trouble.
No child labor. Raiders have been known for child labor
Violations.
The youth movement.
Guys, this has been a great episode. I appreciate everybody watching at home and wherever you are in the world. Please do us a favor. We just completed episode 2 of season 1 of Neutral Zone with myself, Nav, Stomps, and Frank. We're really trying to build this Chicago ball hockey scene. So wherever you can and however you can, reach out to Frank and ask and share your skill set, your interests, whatever you can do. I mean, I always want to plug the multimedia here. We're always looking for strong multimedia. Obviously, Stomps thinks we need a better photographer, somebody to take good video. By the time Frank, Stomps, and I get to the game on Wednesday, we're too tired and we don't take video. And Frank, you actually just bolted after Wednesday. I think you had to get to a tryout or something. I don't know what you were doing, but you bolted on Wednesday.
Yeah, I had places to be on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Bed.
Couch. You were watching Cobra Kai, don't lie.
I had to finish. I think that's the night I finished it.
We're gonna disconnect from Facebook Live. We're gonna stop the live stream here right now, guys. So just hang with me for a sec.
Peace, everyone.
Yeah, we're off Facebook, and hang on, let me just